Hello, authors. This is freelance fiction editor Miranda Darrow here with my weekly video about writing, editing, and the writing life. It's summer here in the Northern Hemisphere, a glorious time for folks like me living in Minnesota and other northern climates when we venture outside not to combat frostbite, but instead to combat mosquitoes. 2 weeks ago, I had a video with tips for authors wanting to write beach reads. And this week's video is my list of rather recently, within the last 5 year, beach read titles. There are beach reads, and then there are ignored my whole family for a weekend because I needed to finish it reads. The best summer novels don't just entertain us, they transport us. They give us longing, atmosphere, emotional messiness, gorgeous settings, complicated relationships, secrets, nostalgia, and characters who feel achingly real. They're books you start reading beside the pool and somehow finish at 2 a.m. because you physically cannot stop. Whether your ideal vacation revolves around ocean waves, cabin docks, amusement parks, road trips, or simply hiding from responsibilities with an iced coffee and a paperback on your own stoop, these books deserve a spot in your summer reading stack. First up is The People We Meet on Vacation by Emily Henry. If summer itself became a romance novel, it might look like this. Published in 2021, this contemporary romance was also made into a movie just this year, starring Emily Bader and Tom Blythe. It follows best friends Poppy and Alex, who've spent years taking annual summer vacations together despite being total opposites. After a mysterious falling out, they attempt one final trip to repair their friendship and possibly confront feelings that they've avoided for years. Emily Henry absolutely excels at emotional chemistry and longing. And this is a vacation romance reading experience. Funny, heartfelt, emotionally vulnerable, and drenched in travel nostalgia. If you love friends to lovers, slow burn tension, and emotional payoff, this one practically demands a beach towel and oversized sunglasses. Next up, one of my favorite authors, Taylor Jenkins Reid, who has several that would qualify, but I picked Malibu Rising. Some books feel cinematic, and Malibu Rising is one of them. Released in 2021, this novel follows the famous Rivas siblings during a legendary Malibu party in 1983, a glamorous night that ends with a mansion engulfed in flames. Yes, the house burns down. Beneath the celebrity atmosphere and surf culture aesthetic lies an emotionally rich story about family wounds, fame, loyalty, and reinvention. Taylor Jenkins Reid has mastered the art of writing compulsively readable literary drama. This novel delivers a summer atmosphere in every scene, salt air, crashing waves, wild parties, old secret, and emotional fallout. It's impossible not to inhale this book in huge chunks while pretending you'll stop after reading just one more chapter. For super fans of Taylor Jenkins Reid like me, you will also see some flyby references to characters from another novel in the same universe, Carrie Soto is Back, but you do not need to read Carrie Soto first in order to enjoy this recent historical. And as a former 80s teen, I love novels and stories set in the 80s and get all nostalgic for jelly sandals and acid wash jeans. Next up is One Golden Summer by Carley Fortune. Published just last year, 2025, One Golden Summer is the second in a series, but you do not need to read all of them in order. And I think another one is coming out this year, but I haven't read it yet. This novel is the subject to a future novel deep dive where another author and I are going to explore the use of the single POV for dramatic effect. So watch for that novel deep dive coming soon. This novel follows Alice Everly as she returns to Ferry's Bay to help care for her grandmother. There she runs into Charlie Florek, a man who was tied to a transformative summer that she'd had when she was a teenager, but that she'd never really connected with on her first time there. This is exactly the sort of novel that readers crave during vacation season. Lakeside nostalgia, emotional intimacy, digging into emotional wounds that have held the characters back, and the bittersweet ache of remembering who you used to be when you were young. Fortune writes yearning with extraordinary emotional precision, making this an ideal doc read for anyone who loves romance with emotional depth. Next up, a little not quite as light, Culpability by Bruce Holsinger. This title makes my beach reads list despite being literary fiction that tackles some deep philosophical questions about responsibility when people riding in an AI-driven car are involved in a fatal accident. I'm listing it as a beach read because it primarily takes place at a cabin on a lake where a family of 5 is going for a summer vacation a few weeks after being involved in a car crash that left 2 strangers in an oncoming car dead. They're swimming, they're paddleboarding, they're going to cookouts at the fancy neighbor's summer house, and all this time they're trying to find someone else to blame for this accident. And it's got a summer cabin on the cover, so it's going in the beach reads list for me. Next up, Just for the Summer by Abby Jiménez. Abby Jiménez continues to bring emotionally devastating but also hilarious contemporary romance. This one was published in 2024 and follows Justin and Emma, who connect online after discovering that they share the same bizarre curse. Everyone that they date finds their soulmate immediately after breaking up with them. It's the next person. So naturally, they decide the logical solution is to date each other to cancel out this curse. I've already posted a novel deep dive with this one, where we explore how this story maximized the use of that key trope. So check that out in my YouTube library. What starts as a playful romantic setup quickly becomes something deeper, funnier, and more emotionally layered. Jiménez consistently balances humor, chemistry, vulnerability, and emotional stakes really well. It's a perfect summer binge read for someone who wants laughs and feelings. In a similar light vein is The Paradise Problem by Christina Lauren. This writing duo have been writing for a long time, and they have a lot that would qualify as a beach read. But this one was published in 2024. The Paradise Problem follows Anna Green and Liam Weston, whose college marriage of convenience turns out to be not completely legally over. And now they must pretend to be happily married in order for Liam to secure a massive inheritance from his wealthy family. I'm always a sucker for marriage of convenience stories. This novel takes a unique twist on that trope, with the marriage of convenience having occurred years earlier, but without the expected rom-com result that they would like very soon after fall in love. Here we are, years later, and it's useful for this marriage of convenience to show up again, and life's funny like that. Christina Lauren leaned into the tropical vacation energy with private islands, family drama, fake dating tension, wealth-fueled chaos, and some sharp banter. Readers looking for fast, addictive summer romance with emotional chemistry and escapist vibes will fly through this one. A little less light, again, The Wedding People by Alan Espach was released in 2024. This novel is deeply funny and also deeply sad and very human. The Wedding People follows Mimi Stone, who arrives alone at a luxury Newport hotel, intending to spend her last night there because she is planning to end it all. Only she becomes unexpectedly entangled in a lavish wedding weekend, and she doesn't want to ruin the bride's weekend, and so she gets overly involved with the wedding people. This is the kind of smart contemporary fiction that works beautifully as a summer read because it balances emotional depth with compulsive readability. It's observant, darkly funny, hopeful, and full of complicated humanity. The setting alone makes it an ideal vacation read, and I am planning a future novel deep dive for this title, zeroing in on what writing craft aspect we should focus in on that novel deep dive. Next up is a YA title, The Sundown Girls by L.S. Stratton. If your ideal beach read includes suspense, secrets, creeping tension, this one deserves your attention. From 2023, it's a YA novel that blends mystery and horror elements. As our main character, 16-year-old Naomi, goes on a summer vacation after reuniting with her birth family, who insist on calling her Cameron, the name they had given her before she was kidnapped as a young child and raised by her abductor, who is now incarcerated, and Naomi still sees as her mom. Her newly reunited sister is annoyed at her existence. Her brother is clueless, and Naomi is hurting and alone, and she misses her mom. But she puts on her happy face and goes on vacation with her family close to a sundown town, a city where historically people of color were prohibited from being in town after sundown, which is not great for this family of color. Naomi meets a cute boy, and they want to hang out, but it's hard to explain why she tells him to call her Naomi, but her family insists on calling her Cameron. And then there are racist relics all around this town, stories and legends, and stories of women, young women, right now in this year, going missing and disappearing. Naomi starts seeing things in the woods outside her cabin. It could be ghosts. It could be someone giving her clues about the women who had recently disappeared. But nobody believes her because they think that it's her emotional instability because of her abduction and her reuniting with her birth family, and that they're not actually clues. And she gets pulled into a bunch of deadly secrets. This is perfect for readers who want a darker summer reading experience, kind of book that you race through during a thunderstorm at the cabin while insisting that you're definitely not going to be the one who's going to go outside and get more wood for the fire. Next up, Remarkably Bright Creatures by Shelby Van Pelt. Yes, this octopus book was recently made into a movie that everyone keeps recommending, and it is worth the hype. Published in 2022, this novel follows Tova Sullivan, a widow, working nights at an aquarium whose friendship with the giant Pacific octopus helps uncover long buried family mysteries. This novel became a massive word-of-mouth success because of its heartfelt, funny, hopeful, and deeply compassionate prose. It's the kind of book that makes readers cry in public and then text friends to say, you should read this. I personally love the voice when the POV was with the octopus. Very, very cynical, very snarky. I loved it. Next up, one of my auto-buy authors that I always want to read, Katherine Center. And I'm going to recommend The Love Haters. She also has several that could fall into the Beach Reads category. This is a 2025 release of one of her charming novels about messy people learning how to live fully. This novel follows Kate, a video producer sent to profile a Coast Guard rescue swimmer named Hutch. Despite the fact that she can't swim and she's hiding a lot of personal baggage too. And to make this assignment even more awkward, Hutch is handsome as heck, but he has zero interest in being on camera, doesn't want anything to do with Kate and her assignment. And I really loved the Key West setting and getting to learn more about the Coast Guard. Center's books are tailor-made for summer reading because they balance warmth, humor, vulnerability, and romance without much effort. Or so it seems to readers. Readers are looking for emotional comfort. Reads with heart and humor will devour most of Katherine Center's books. Next up, Theo of Golden by Alan Levi. Some books unfold quietly and still manage to transform you. A 2023 title, Theo of Golden, follows an elderly stranger who arrives in a small town and begins purchasing portraits from a coffee shop gallery with the hopes of returning them to the people who are depicted in the pictures. There's a local artist who draws portraits of people and he lists them for sale. And so Theo buys them and finds the people and tries to give it to them. And some people take it very happily and some people are upset about it. The novel is gentle, reflective, and deeply human. It's ideal for readers looking for a slower paced summer read centered on connection, kindness, memory, and stories that people will carry with them. Next up, Demon Copperhead by Barbara Kingsolver is a fabulous retelling of Charles Dickens's David Copperfield. Published in 2022, it won the Pulitzer Prize, and it reimagines David Copperfield in contemporary Appalachia. We follow the main character, Demon, as he navigates foster care, addiction, poverty, and survival during the opioid crisis. The part where he tries to fit in by playing high school football and then is sidelined by an injury and then rejected by the whole town cut me deeply. Barbara Kingsolver creates one of the strongest narrative voices in recent literary fiction. It's emotionally devastating, immersive, funny in unexpected places, and unforgettable. Next up, this is our last one, The Compound by Aisling Rawle. This 2025 novel reminded me of my favorite summer TV show, Big Brother, but it's gone feral. Lily, a bored, beautiful 20-something, wakes up on a remote desert compound alongside 19 other contestants on a popular reality TV show. To win, she must outlast her housemates while competing in challenges for luxury rewards, such as champagne and lipstick, and communal necessities to outfit their new home, like food, appliances, and a front door to keep the animals out and bugs. And then the producers raise the stakes. I read this one in one day, losing track of the producers, the audience, anything except for what these contestants would do to win. There's a whole lot of guilty pleasures set in a sunny paradise, at least until the competition starts. Summer reading is never really about the books themselves. It's about memory, atmosphere, escape, the strange magic of associating specific novels with sunlight, lake water, airplane rides, late nights, and entire versions of ourselves when we get to spend some time away. The best beach reads become part of the season. Whether you want romance, literary fiction, emotional catharsis, suspense, nostalgia, or characters who refuse to leave your brain long after the vacation ends, these books offer exactly the kind of immersive storytelling that makes summer reading unforgettable. That's my video for the week. Tune in next week for our novel deep dive of Culpability by Bruce Holsinger. And please like and subscribe to see more of my weekly videos. This is freelance fiction editor Miranda Darrow wishing you happy writing. Be sure to like and subscribe. This is freelance fiction editor Miranda Darrow wishing you happy writing.